The pharaoh Thutmose III, nicknamed the Shadow of the Nile, because his victories spread like the tides of the Nile across the lands of the ancient Egyptians, leaving behind the legend of the greatest pharaoh of the 18th dynasty. Yet his legacy would not have been complete without the man who cast a shadow over his shadow, the man who helped him unlock the secrets of the Nile, the man who became known as Puck, the priest's son. Chapter 1. The priest's son. In the city of Thebes, the chief and ruler of Upper Egypt, where the waters of the Nile flow serenely between you and the temples of the ancient gods, was born Puck-en-Re, the son of one of the high priests of the temple of Amun. He was a man whose father was a scholar of knowledge, a memorizer of medical and astronomical books, and he believed that Egypt would rise through science, not just war. He was intelligent and curious, not content with reciting hymns, but asking questions about everything. Why does the Nile flood? How are the pyramids built? Why are the dead mummified? No one punished him much for his departure from Francisco, except a great sheikh named Horsekhem, who saw in him a great future. Chapter 2. The King's Visit. In the 13th year of the reign of Thutmose III, the pharaoh himself came to the temple of Amun to offer sacrifices after his mother at the Battle of Megiddo, the battle that marked the conquest of Egypt as far as Canaan. Puck was 17 years old, working as a scribe in Al-Mutasim's library, when he was offered the opportunity to serve the king temporarily. There, however, the king's architect, Nakhthotep, who was impressed by his scholarly eloquence and knowledge of the world, invited him to Memphis to work in the royal palace archives. Chapter 3. Secrets of the Palace. In Memphis, the capital of Lower Egypt, Pa discovered that Egypt was not just about temples and gods, but also a network of politics, medicine, trade, and wealth. He began working on a team that oversaw the organization of military and scientific documents, examining flood maps, flood reports, tax records, and even correspondence with the Hittite kings. There was a mysterious document written in hieratic script that read, "If the Nile floods 3 times without a decrease, the land of Egypt will reap gold. If not, misfortune is coming." Pack began investigating and discovered that someone was tampering with the flood reports to mislead the pharaoh into contracting a new regime instead of building dams and reservoirs. Egg was unable to confront the duo, so he enlisted the help of his old mentor, Horsekhem, who had secretly arrived from Thebes. Chapter 4. Between Truth and Power. The pharaoh knew what Guy was up to, but he wasn't easily fooled. He gathered his priests, army commanders, and engineers and confronted them with Park's documents. Many denied it, and Park was lied to, but Nakhthotep stood by him, certain that facts don't lie. Under the tutelage of the Nile, he ordered the largest floodwater management system in Egyptian history to make him feel its weight. He also ordered a Nile monitoring system, saying his famous phrase, "The land of the Nile is not ruled by the sword, but by those who know how to understand its waters." Chapter 5. The End and Beginning of Civilization. Puck returned to Thebes with the rank of royal reader and general advisor. He did not ask for power or gold, but rather requested that a knowledge house be built in a manner befitting them, comprising everything known about medicine, physics, and astronomy, so that the people of Egypt would have a place to learn. This house was later called the House of Life, and it became the nucleus of what is now the first scientific library in the ancient world. The end of the story, the beginning of history. Puck-en-Re was neither a pharaoh nor a team leader, but simply an Egyptian scribe who believed that knowledge could change the fate of a nation. In the shadow of the Nile, he lived, died, and his name was immortalized in the annals of time.